Now, what you got to realize, though, also is how non-religious people can view Christmas. And a lot of non-religious people, because they're out of the box, they're not in the box of churchianity. You see, if you're religious, you're in the box of churchianity. And you view things from a certain perspective. But non-religious people often will look and say, man, I don't see how anybody could actually think all of this is about Jesus. I mean, look at the traffic jams. Look at the money that's spent. Look at the advertisement, for pity's sake. Yeah, it's all about Jesus. And Jesus is up there, I just bet he's up there in heaven saying, all this for me, And so non-religious people have a way, because they're out of the box of churchianity, to see things differently than you see them if you're a religious person. Now, I know all about being in the box, because I used to be in the box of a religious organization, and it wasn't until I got out of that box could I see things clearly. In the box, it was just a certain way you thought, a certain way, there was a mindset, a group mindset. And with churchianity, we're talking about a group mindset. Everybody thinks the same, And it's not until you get out of that box you can start to see things totally different. That, well, really, this is not all about Jesus, is it? Now let's consider this. Suppose in the Bible, there actually were holidays that God wanted us to keep. Suppose in your Bible, there were holidays not only that God wanted you to keep, but that He commanded you to keep, listed in the Bible. Suppose that was true. In other words, instead of just coming up with our own method for worshiping God, and that really is what Christmas is. It's man's method. God, this is what we'll do. We'll celebrate your birthday, and we'll put a tree in our home. We'll swap gifts, and we'll honor your birthday. It really is man's method for worshiping God. I mean, again, I used to celebrate Christmas, and I have a home with a big old cathedral ceiling, 17 feet tall, and I had this obsession with getting this big tree. And I got this big, huge fir tree. And I nearly had to cut the door out bigger. Forget about cutting the tree down the size. I was going to cut the door out bigger just to get that thing through the door, because I wanted it touching this cathedral ceiling. And it was a beautiful tree once I got it in there. But, is it up for us to decide how we will worship God? Or does God have the authority to tell you how He wants to be worshiped? And does God have certain holidays found in your Bible? The answer is absolutely yes. And I'm going to offer you a couple things here. One is 7 holy days. These are 7 holidays that God expects you to keep, that actually the 7 holy days are all about Jesus Christ. Some people say they're Jewish. No, actually, they're all about Christ. And well, Christ was a Jew. You know that, don't you? But don't let that one slip by you. But 7 holy days that point to Jesus Christ. Amazing read.
Check us out on the web at isthatreallyinthebible.com.